To begin assembling a mitered box, you have to lay out all the grain so it matches end to end to end. You can see that these are all separate parts. But by careful cutting, I have the grain aligned so they match. And I take some tape. I'll tape these edges together. I usually run the tape this direction so that it's getting the maximum adhesion along that joint. And you can see it wraps into a box. So I'm going to apply glue in all of those places there. I'll put a little bit of glue right there in the center so that will lock the floating panel in place. And I'll wrap it up around the lid, and then I'll apply some rubber bands. These little baby bots are great glue dispensers for making boxes. So I've got my glue spread. I really rely on the box coming together to do the spreading of the glue. So I'm going to take this floating panel and drop it in there. And then I can just simply roll the box up along the around the floating panel. And I'll make sure that it is centered. And then I can put on the rubber bands to hold everything together as the glue sets. One thing about the rubber bands is that they have a tendency to pull equally from all corners. So they're actually ideal for box making. This box is open at the bottom because I plan to install the bottom panel after assembly. So that gives me a chance to do a little bit of cleanup of excess glue. And now I'll check all of the joints to see that they all pull together the way I want. And with that having been done, I'll check again to make sure that the panel is where I want it. Now you remember I put a little bit of glue in on the front and back where the panel goes in. And so what that does for me is it will lock this panel in place so it doesn't move around a lot and yet still has some room to expand and contract.